In The Invisible Force Controlling Your Destiny, inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, this motivational speech reveals the unseen power shaping your thoughts, actions, and life outcomes. It uncovers how the subconscious mind silently directs success, failure, health, and prosperity, and how conscious awareness can help you align this invisible force with your true desires. This message is designed to awaken inner belief, mental discipline, and spiritual confidence to transform destiny from within. The power of the subconscious mind is the silent authority operating beneath awareness, shaping habits, directing emotional responses, and determining the patterns that repeat throughout life. According to the philosophy taught by Dr. Joseph Murphy, the subconscious mind is not selective or judgmental. It accepts whatever the conscious mind repeatedly impresses upon it. Every thought, belief, word, image, and emotion planted within it becomes a command that it works to express as reality. This inner mind governs automatic functions such as breathing, circulation, digestion, and healing, but it also governs success, confidence, fear, wealth, relationships, and health. Whether a person realizes it or not, the subconscious mind is always active, always responding, always executing instructions derived from dominant mental patterns. The subconscious mind operates through repetition and emotional intensity. A single thought may pass without effect, but a thought that is repeatedly entertained or charged with strong emotion penetrates deeply. Once accepted, it becomes a belief, and belief is the language the subconscious understands. It does not argue or reason, it obeys. If a person consistently affirms limitation, fear, or unworthiness, the subconscious organizes experiences to confirm those assumptions. If a person consistently affirms confidence, abundance, health, and peace, the same creative mechanism works to bring corresponding conditions into life. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is true and what is imagined. It treats both as equally real when emotionally accepted. This inner power functions day and night, even when the conscious mind rests. During sleep, the subconscious continues processing impressions, solving problems, restoring the body, and reinforcing beliefs. This is why thoughts held before sleep are especially influential. The conscious mind relaxes, resistance diminishes, and suggestions sink more easily into the deeper mind. When an idea is impressed during this receptive state, it gains momentum, shaping attitudes and circumstances without conscious effort. Over time, these impressions manifest as natural tendencies, intuitive actions, and seemingly coincidental opportunities. The subconscious mind expresses itself through habit. Habits are not created consciously, they are built through repetition until they become automatic. Once a habit is formed, it runs with little conscious involvement. This applies to habits of thought just as much as habits of behavior. A habit of doubt produces hesitation, missed opportunities, and anxiety. A habit of confidence produces decisiveness, courage, and calm. The subconscious mind preserves whatever patterns are installed, maintaining them until they are deliberately replaced. Attempting to change behavior without changing the underlying subconscious belief often results in struggle, inconsistency, and relapse. Emotion acts as the adhesive that fixes ideas into the subconscious. Words spoken without feeling have limited impact, but words spoken with conviction, imagery, and emotional engagement become powerful commands. Fear, love, faith, anger, joy, and expectation all amplify suggestion. When fear dominates the mind, the subconscious accepts danger as reality and responds with tension, illness, or avoidance. When faith dominates, the subconscious accepts safety and success as reality and responds with clarity, resilience, and attraction of supportive conditions. The subconscious mind is impersonal and impartial. It does not reward or punish, it simply reflects. Many people believe life happens to them randomly, yet much of what they experience is the outpicturing of internal programs formed early in life. Childhood impressions, parental beliefs, cultural conditioning, and repeated experiences all leave marks on the subconscious. These early impressions often persist into adulthood unless consciously re-examined. A person may consciously desire success while subconsciously believing success is unsafe, undeserved, or difficult. In such cases, inner conflict arises, and the subconscious belief usually prevails. Autosuggestion is the primary method of reprogramming the subconscious. This involves deliberately impressing constructive ideas through repetition, visualization, affirmation, and emotional alignment. Autosuggestion works best when the mind is calm and focused, not strained or forced. Effort implies doubt, and doubt weakens suggestion. Gentle persistence, relaxed attention, and inner acceptance allow new ideas to take root. When the subconscious accepts a new belief, it begins adjusting perception, behavior, and circumstances to align with it. Imagery is especially effective because the subconscious thinks in pictures. Visualizing a desired outcome as already achieved creates a mental blueprint. When the image is vivid and emotionally satisfying, the subconscious treats it as a memory rather than a wish. It then works to externalize that image through inspired action, heightened awareness, and attraction of relevant experiences. Visualization is not about controlling external events, but about conditioning internal states that naturally influence outcomes. The subconscious mind also governs the body. Every cell responds to mental patterns. Stress, fear, resentment, and guilt disrupt harmony and can manifest as fatigue, pain, or illness. Peaceful, confident, and loving thoughts support balance and vitality. When the subconscious accepts the idea of health, it coordinates bodily processes toward restoration. This does not replace medical care, but complements it by addressing the mental environment in which healing occurs. Language plays a critical role in subconscious conditioning. Words spoken repeatedly shape identity. Statements such as, "I can't," "I always fail," or "that's just how I am," act as commands. The subconscious accepts these declarations as instructions and works to make them true. Changing language changes direction. Affirmations stated in the present tense, calmly and confidently, help establish new mental patterns. The tone matters as much as the words. Sincerity and calm assurance carry more influence than forceful repetition. The subconscious mind responds strongly to authority and conviction. When a person speaks internally with certainty, the message carries weight. This is why borrowed beliefs, when accepted wholeheartedly, can shape reality just as powerfully as personal conclusions. Faith in a principle activates the subconscious regardless of the source. Doubt weakens authority while trust strengthens it. Cultivating inner authority requires aligning conscious intention with emotional acceptance. Resistance is a sign of conflicting beliefs. When affirmations feel uncomfortable or unbelievable, it indicates that the subconscious holds an opposing idea. In such cases, gentler statements that bridge the gap are more effective. Instead of forcing a declaration of success, one might affirm openness to progress or willingness to improve. This approach gradually dissolves resistance and allows new beliefs to settle naturally. The subconscious mind is creative, not analytical. It does not calculate probabilities or weigh evidence. It operates through association and symbolism. Metaphors, stories, and emotionally charged images communicate more effectively than logic. This is why inspirational narratives and symbolic language influence behavior deeply. They bypass critical resistance and speak directly to the deeper mind. Repetition establishes familiarity, and familiarity breeds acceptance. An idea repeated often enough becomes normal. Once it feels normal, it becomes true in experience. This is the mechanism behind both limitation and transformation. Negative self-talk repeated over years feels natural, even when harmful. Positive self-talk repeated with patience eventually feels just as natural and begins producing different results. The subconscious mind coordinates with intuition. Intuitive impulses often arise from subconscious processing of information beyond conscious awareness. When the subconscious is conditioned with confidence and clarity, intuition becomes more reliable. When it is conditioned with fear, intuition may be confused with anxiety. Trusting intuition requires cultivating inner calm and constructive belief patterns. Timing is another function of the subconscious. Once an idea is accepted, the subconscious moves toward its expression through natural channels. This process cannot always be forced or rushed. Impatience introduces doubt, which interferes with execution. Trust allows the subconscious to work efficiently, aligning actions and opportunities without strain. The subconscious mind thrives on consistency. Occasional positive thinking cannot override deeply ingrained beliefs. Daily mental discipline, even for a few minutes, produces cumulative effects. Small, consistent impressions reshape inner programming more effectively than sporadic intensity. The law of accumulation applies internally before it appears externally. Gratitude is a powerful subconscious signal. Feeling grateful implies that something good already exists. This emotional state communicates fulfillment rather than lack. When gratitude becomes habitual, the subconscious accepts abundance as normal and seeks evidence to support it. Complaining signals deficiency and reinforces dissatisfaction. Emotional tone determines the direction of subconscious activity. The subconscious mind also responds to forgiveness. Holding resentment keeps the mind focused on past injury, reinforcing pain patterns. Forgiveness releases emotional charge and restores inner balance. This does not justify harm, but frees the mind from repeating it internally. When the subconscious accepts peace, it reorganizes experience around harmony rather than conflict. Self-image resides in the subconscious. How a person sees themselves determines what they permit, attempt, and tolerate. A poor self-image limits potential regardless of talent. A strong self-image expands possibilities even with modest skill. Changing self-image requires consistent reinforcement of worth, capability, and identity. Once the subconscious accepts a new self-concept, behavior adjusts automatically. Belief precedes action. The subconscious often decides before the conscious mind rationalizes. Many actions are executed first internally and justified later intellectually. Understanding this shifts focus from external struggle to internal alignment. When inner belief changes, effort decreases and effectiveness increases. The subconscious mind is the gateway between thought and experience. It translates mental patterns into physical conditions through behavior, perception, and circumstance. Mastery of this inner power does not mean controlling every event, but understanding the influence behind responses and tendencies. Awareness brings choice, and choice allows redirection. When the subconscious is impressed with calm expectation rather than desperate desire, it operates smoothly. Desire implies lack, while expectation implies certainty. The subconscious acts on certainty. Cultivating expectation involves trusting the process rather than obsessing over results. Obsession signals fear, which weakens influence. The subconscious mind accepts symbols as reality. Rituals, routines, and symbolic actions can reinforce belief. Writing goals, repeating affirmations, visualizing outcomes, and practicing moments of silence all serve as symbolic communications to the deeper mind. These actions matter not because of their form, but because of the meaning assigned to them. Silence plays a vital role. In moments of stillness, conscious noise subsides and subconscious guidance becomes clearer. Regular periods of quiet allow impressions to settle and inner alignment to strengthen. Silence is not emptiness, but receptivity, a state in which the subconscious can integrate new ideas without interference. The power of the subconscious mind lies in its consistency, responsiveness, and creative intelligence. It never stops working, never questions commands, and never tires of execution. It faithfully reproduces whatever patterns are entrusted to it, shaping destiny through invisible processes that operate long before results appear. Faith activates inner intelligence by aligning conscious intention with the deeper creative power that governs perception, behavior, and outcomes. In the teachings associated with Dr. Joseph Murphy, faith is not blind belief or religious formality, but a deep inner knowing that something is already established within before it appears without. Faith is the mental and emotional state that signals acceptance to the subconscious mind. When faith is present, the subconscious is activated into coordinated action, drawing upon inner intelligence to guide decisions, impulses, timing, and opportunities in ways the conscious mind cannot calculate. Inner intelligence is the organizing principle of life operating beneath awareness. It regulates the body, balances emotions, stores memory, and synthesizes experience. This intelligence functions effortlessly and accurately when not obstructed by fear, doubt, or contradictory beliefs. Faith removes obstruction. It creates coherence between desire and belief. When a person holds faith, the mind stops struggling to force outcomes and instead allows the inner intelligence to lead through intuition, insight, and natural action. Faith is trust in the process rather than control of the method. Doubt fragments mental energy. When doubt dominates, inner intelligence receives mixed instructions. One part of the mind moves forward while another holds back. This internal division weakens execution and clarity. Faith unifies direction. It establishes a single command. This is accepted as true. Once acceptance occurs, the subconscious no longer resists, and inner intelligence begins arranging conditions in harmony with the accepted idea. The individual may not consciously understand how or when things will happen, yet actions begin to align effortlessly. Faith is a feeling state before it is a thought. It is experienced as calm expectancy rather than emotional excitement. Anxiety seeks reassurance. Faith rests in certainty. This calm state signals safety to the subconscious mind, allowing inner intelligence to function optimally. Just as the body heals best in rest rather than tension, the mind creates best in trust rather than force. Faith removes urgency, and urgency is often rooted in fear of failure or lack. Inner intelligence communicates through subtle impulses. These impulses may appear as intuition, sudden clarity, inner nudges, or spontaneous ideas. When faith is present, these signals are trusted and acted upon. When faith is absent, they are questioned, delayed, or ignored. The quality of faith determines sensitivity to guidance. Strong faith quiets mental noise, making guidance easier to recognize. Weak faith amplifies doubt, confusing intuition with imagination or fear. Faith also shapes perception. What a person believes determines what they notice. Inner intelligence filters reality based on belief patterns. When faith and success exists, the mind becomes alert to opportunities aligned with success. When faith and limitation exists, the same opportunities may go unnoticed. This selective perception is not conscious bias, but subconscious orientation. Faith programs the inner intelligence to scan reality for confirmation of belief. The inner intelligence does not respond to words alone, but to conviction. Repeating affirmations without belief produces minimal effect. Faith gives affirmations authority. Authority is the deciding factor in subconscious acceptance. When a statement is spoken with quiet confidence, the subconscious treats it as fact. When spoken with desperation, it is treated as wishful thinking. Inner intelligence responds to certainty, not pleading. Faith is strengthened through experience, repetition, and alignment. Each time a person acts in accordance with belief and sees results, faith deepens. This creates a feedback loop. Stronger faith improves responsiveness of inner intelligence, leading to clearer guidance and better outcomes. This cycle continues as long as trust is maintained. When faith is broken by disappointment or fear, the loop weakens until trust is restored. The absence of immediate results often tests faith. Inner intelligence operates on timing that considers countless variables beyond conscious awareness. Faith allows patience without discouragement. Impatience implies doubt, signaling to the subconscious that the outcome is uncertain. This introduces resistance. Faith maintains inner equilibrium regardless of external delay. It assumes that movement is occurring even when unseen. Inner intelligence is holistic. It considers emotional readiness, skill development, environmental conditions, and relational dynamics. Faith trusts this holistic coordination. Attempting to override inner timing through force often leads to strain or misalignment. Faith allows preparation to occur naturally. During apparent waiting periods, inner intelligence may be strengthening character, refining perception, or redirecting paths subtly. Fear is the opposite of faith, not because fear is emotional, but because it is anticipatory belief in negative outcome. Fear activates inner intelligence in a destructive direction. The same creative power that produces success under faith produces obstacles under fear. The mechanism is neutral. Faith directs it constructively, fear directs it defensively. Understanding this neutrality removes the idea of punishment or reward and places responsibility on mental alignment. Faith does not deny challenges. It reframes them. When faith is present, challenges are interpreted as signals for adjustment rather than evidence of failure. This interpretation preserves mental stability. Inner intelligence then uses challenges as data to refine approach rather than reasons to withdraw. Without faith, challenges are personalized and internalized, weakening resolve and clarity. The language of faith is affirmation combined with emotional neutrality. Overexcitement often masks insecurity. True faith feels composed, grounded, and steady. It does not require constant reassurance or external validation. This emotional tone tells the subconscious that the matter is settled. Inner intelligence then shifts focus from deliberation to execution. Faith also influences bodily expression. The body responds to belief through posture, tone, facial expression, and movement. These physical cues reinforce internal states. A body conditioned by faith moves with ease and confidence, sending further confirmation to the subconscious. This embodied faith strengthens the signal to inner intelligence, creating congruence between mind and body. Visualization becomes effective only when combined with faith. Imagining success while doubting its possibility creates internal contradiction. Imagining success with acceptance creates internal alignment. Inner intelligence uses the imagined scenario as a template. It begins adjusting behavior, habits, and perception to match the image. The image alone is not enough. Faith is the activating element. Faith is cumulative. Small acts of trust build capacity for larger trust. Each decision made from belief rather than fear expands tolerance for uncertainty. Inner intelligence thrives in uncertainty when guided by faith. It uses uncertainty as creative space rather than threat. This allows innovation, adaptability, and resilience to emerge naturally. Cultural and personal conditioning often weaken faith by emphasizing control, effort, and struggle. While effort has its place, excessive reliance on force signals distrust in inner intelligence. Faith restores balance by allowing effort to be guided rather than compulsive. Guided effort feels purposeful and efficient. Forced effort feels exhausting and repetitive. Faith reshapes identity. A person who trusts inner intelligence begins to see themselves as supported rather than isolated. This shift in identity changes interaction with the world. Confidence replaces defensiveness. Openness replaces suspicion. These traits invite cooperation, opportunities, and positive response from others, further reinforcing belief. Inner intelligence responds strongly to expectation. Expectation differs from hope. Hope implies possibility, expectation implies certainty. Faith cultivates expectation without tension. This expectation subtly influences behavior, tone, and decision making. People act differently when they expect success. These differences accumulate into tangible results. Faith also dissolves overthinking. Analysis has limits. Beyond a certain point, analysis becomes avoidance disguised as preparation. Faith allows action without complete information. Inner intelligence fills gaps through adaptation. Many breakthroughs occur not because everything was known, but because enough trust existed to proceed. The development of faith requires conscious withdrawal from negative reinforcement. Constant exposure to doubt, fear-based narratives, and pessimistic influences weakens belief. Protecting mental environment is an act of faith, choosing what to listen to, dwell upon, and internalize determines the quality of subconscious instruction. Inner intelligence executes whatever environment installs. Faith transforms failure into feedback. When outcomes do not match expectation, faith prevents collapse of belief. Instead of concluding inability, go. Faith concludes adjustment. This keeps inner intelligence engaged rather than shut down. Learning continues rather than stopping. Progress becomes iterative rather than fragile. The most profound effect of faith is inner peace. Peace is not passivity, but stability. In peace, inner intelligence operates without interference. Decisions feel cleaner. Reactions become measured. Emotional regulation improves. This internal order reflects outwardly as effectiveness and reliability. Faith does not require certainty about details. It requires certainty about direction. Knowing the exact path is unnecessary when trust and guidance exists. Inner intelligence reveals steps sequentially. Faith accepts this sequence rather than demanding the entire map. This acceptance reduces mental strain and preserves motivation. When faith is internalized, motivation becomes intrinsic. External rewards or pressures lose dominance. Inner intelligence supplies drive aligned with purpose. This drive is sustainable because it is not dependent on constant stimulation. It arises naturally from alignment rather than compulsion. Faith also refines desire. Superficial wants often dissolve when trust deepens. Inner intelligence brings clarity about what truly matters. This refinement prevents wasted effort and distraction. Pursuits become more meaningful and results carry greater satisfaction. The activation of inner intelligence through faith is not a dramatic event, but a subtle shift. It is marked by ease, clarity, and coherence. Resistance fades. Decisions simplify, Confidence stabilizes. These internal signs indicate that faith has moved from concept to condition. Faith remains active through consistency rather than intensity. Brief moments of belief followed by long periods of doubt weaken effect. Steady, quiet trust maintains momentum. Inner intelligence responds to sustained signals, not emotional spikes. Ultimately, faith is cooperation with an inner system already designed to support growth, balance, and expression. Activating it does not add something new, but removes interference. When fear, doubt, and force are reduced, inner intelligence emerges naturally, guiding thought, behavior, and experience in alignment with accepted belief